and not much rain expected through the rest of our Jazz Fest weekend. And again, as I'd mentioned, as far as Jazz Fest rains go, this one was nothing. We didn't have that slop that we have seen so many times before. We are dry on radar now, just looking at some ground clutter, and relatively dry over the coming days. What we're expecting tomorrow, 10-20% chance for an isolated shower, so there is a good chance we won't see any rainfall over the metro area nor the fairgrounds, but a few isolated. If it was me going out to Jazz Fest, I would have sunscreen because we will see some sunny breaks, but I would also maybe pack a poncho just in case. Same for Sunday. I think we'll see probably more clouds than sun, but also a maybe slightly better chance for a few more showers, and I do have our rain chance on Sunday at around 20-30%. I'll explain why in a moment. We're under clearing skies outside at the moment and relatively quiet weather for the rest of it. So quiet that none of our data is actually coming in. I don't know what's going on. Sometimes it just acts up. It's a computer, just like everyone else's. We're in the 60s and low 70s outside, and I do think we should see a few more locations into the upper 60s overnight tonight, as the dew points during the day today did drop a bit. We saw slightly less humid air with that disturbance that moved on through. I mean, going from 70s to upper 60s, about as low as the humidity got. Sometimes that's all that matters, as this evening almost had a little coolness to the air as we had a little bit of a breeze at times. Another disturbance out to our west, triggering some big storms. You see how active they become on water vapor here. This upper disturbance, though, is moving toward the northeast, and once again, as it moves in our direction, will be weakening. So not really expecting much rainfall from that system tomorrow. What we're looking at here is the upper pattern and the instability that would help trigger clouds, rainfall, storms, and we don't really see much of that during the day tomorrow. Different story for Sunday. More potent upper disturbance, or at least a bit better well-defined, I'll say, and that does increase our instability over southeast Louisiana, so I did kind of kick the rain chances up a little bit. 10-20% during the day tomorrow to more of a 20-30% during the day on Sunday. As far as the overnight hours go, severe weather will continue across almost all of central and west Texas and into parts of the Midwest. By Saturday, kind of a bullseye over West Texas. Sunday, again, that is a lower threat, but still over parts of Texas into Arkansas. We see more severe weather Monday, centered over Kansas, and then Tuesday it starts to shift toward the Midwest. So more active weather west and north of us. For us, though, we rather stay quiet. Those storms may send some of these high clouds our way in the next several hours, going well after midnight tonight. But otherwise, I think a fairly quiet evening with maybe a little more cloudiness at times to start our day tomorrow. And then also, as I mentioned, maybe a few spotty showers. I don't think rain is really going to be a big deal for this coming weekend. What the real focus will be on, and that's coming next week, is high temperatures in the 90s. This would be not earliest on record, but certainly earlier than average. Normally, the first 90 of the year at Kenner is on May 18th. We're going to beat that. The earliest on record at Kenner was set back just 4 years ago on April 9th, and the latest, which is incredible to me, was not until June 30th. Could you imagine going almost an entire June without even seeing a 90-degree temperature? I'd kill for that. That was in 1983. I was just a wee lad. As we look at our 7-day forecast, again, an isolated shower chance on Saturday and Sunday. Rainfall, not really a big deal. The heat will be the main focus as we head into next week.